Hi, my name's Katie and welcome to my channel. Today we are at the Everglades Farm here in Florida, and I've got Josh from Summerland Fish Farms here with me too. Josh is very familiar with cichlids and fish obviously, but also with the Everglades. We're going to take you on a little bit of a Florida Everglades tour.
We're going to do some fun Florida stuff. You gotta go on an airboat ride, guys. Seeing gators in Florida, their natural habitat, that's another must-see. Funny thing though, we're gonna go feed some emus, which you could probably do, like, you know, down the street from like your house. Yeah.
And I'm very excited for this as well because this is my first time seeing an alligator in Florida and my first time going on an airboat too. So we are at the emu area. Do we have emus?
They're right here.
I see some koi. Are they koi?
Yeah, there's koi in there.
Oh, it's right here.
You don't hand feed them?
You can empty them, which is like they peck really hard.
They'll be okay.
They peck hard.
Yeah, it's a velociraptor. Keep your hand flat.
Thank you. Okay, because they'll peck me otherwise.
Yeah.
Ah! Oh my gosh. They really go for it. Do you want to feed the emus? They were like, we'll just watch. You guys aren't that scary.
A little bit of like, you know, you have mine cichlids down there.
Oh yeah.
There's koi. You got some sliders in there, some redder sliders, yellower sliders.
Oh, they got food in there too?
Yeah.
But they wanted to take it from our hand?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're greedy.
that's so nice. All right, we're gonna go see some bobcats.
They're native to Florida. That's
They're native?
Yeah.
All right, so that there, guys, is a Florida bobcat that is apparently native here.
There's another one over here.
So where would you find these guys?
Out in the Everglades.
Out in the Everglades.
In the Everglades?
Yeah.
Are we gonna run into them by accident?
Not really. You don't really see them that much anymore. Fortunately, here in Florida, they think it's a good idea to start taking away our natural parks to build golf courses because we don't have enough golf courses here in Florida. But by doing stuff like that, guys, you really miss out on the beauty of seeing something like that in the wild. Florida is like level 4 of Jumanji. You saw that like 4-foot iguana that when we first parked. Like.
Came to see some alligators, and I'm happy to say we have a few alligators for you to see. Inside this enclosure, we have anywhere from 2 to 3-ish hundred alligators. Most people who come and visit, they think that if you were to fall inside this enclosure, immediately every alligator is going to be on top of you. That's not generally the case. Alligators go after bite-sized items, so small things, fish, turtles, birds, small alligators. They're very shy and cautious. If they don't know they can take it down, they're not going to. And typically these are things they can kill with one bite and swallow whole. Crocodiles do not play by those rules. Most species of crocodiles will attack things that are comparable to their own body size. So they are a little scarier. During this tour, I'm going to use a word, crocodilians. This word refers to everyone. Most people, when they think about these animals, you're thinking alligators, crocodiles, but there's also caimans and gharials. So the first crocodile we're looking at, the Cuban crocodile, of course, just like the name implies, comes from Cuba. Now, another thing you notice with these crocodile enclosures is there are going to be 2 doors. This is very important when you work with these animals. You need to have an escape route. And whenever we work with crocodiles, we always go in teams. Alligators usually can get away with being alone. So my Aussies, the next one, it's your home and native. So this is a saltwater crocodile, also known as the Indo-Pacific crocodile. It inhabits the Northern Territory of Australia, as well as you can find them in the Indo-Pacific. World record for this crocodile was captured in the Philippines. 23 feet and some change. These animals get incredibly large and they're very aggressive. And just like the name implies, no issue being in salt water. It's another big difference between these animals and alligators. This is an American crocodile. The crocodiles that live here generally are kind of shy and skittish like the alligators are. They're used to eating smaller prey. Crocodiles are very intolerant to cold weather. So even, let's say, an hour or 2 north of here, sometimes during the winter it gets a little too cold for too long for them to be okay. For this tour, we can't hold any crocodiles, so we're going to switch it back to alligators.
What? Oh, what the heck, a vulture?
Oh yeah. A bunch of freeloaders. Pick on this guy first. And that is your baby American alligator. So everything that they want to eat when they grow up currently wants to eat them right now. That includes fish, turtles, birds, other alligators. They're the bottom barrel of the food chain. Sad thing is, in the wild, only 2% of baby alligators survive to be adults. Hold your hand out.
Like this?
Yeah, perfect.
Like that.
And then hold.
He's making noises.
That's it. Jurassic Park in your fingers.
Oh.
What do you think?
I think that's very cute.
You can do it.
I would love
Believe
to.
in you.
I don't think I'd be allowed to though. Is he actually calling his mom?
Yes. Now,
Really?
he doesn't know who his mom is necessarily, and moms don't recognize their own babies. So if a female hears that noise, 3 of them are around, they'll all respond. They just
To
have
be
that
his
instinct.
mom? Aw,
They just have that instinct.
that's really cute.
It's adorable. But even with all that going for him, still the odds are against him. If you look inside this alligator's mouth, what do you see? There's teeth. Good, good. But what can't you see? Down his throat. It's all sealed up back there. That little flap of skin you see is called a glottis. Alligators, crocodiles, caimans, everybody has one of these. And this prevents them from drowning underwater. If water can't get past this glottis, then air can't either, which means he is not breathing through his mouth. He is breathing exclusively through the 2 little holes in the front of his face, his nostrils. So, when I secure his mouth today, I'm not restricting his ability to breathe. Believe it or not, their opening power is extremely weak. I believe that anyone here today could, with your bare hands, hold the largest alligator's mouth in that pond shut with no issue, assuming you can get your fingers around the thickness of the jaws. Their opening power, I mean, nature didn't put any stat points into it. We're gonna go, and just about the entire population of this pond is gonna be on its way to see you. Now, what you're seeing right here is exactly why feeding alligators in the wild is highly illegal. Alligators have a natural fear of people, so they'll keep their distance. The moment you give them food, they remember.
Time to feed the gators. I'm guessing they're giving them really gross food.
No, we're gonna give them prosthetics.
No one out here is particularly hungry, so don't feel bad for anyone. Feed whoever you want, okay? You're not gonna ruin anyone's day. And whenever you're ready, pick up a piece, toss it in, and
All right.
get it going.
Okay. Wow, they're so slow. It's a nice old chicken trying not to breathe through my nose. This girl does not need food. Okay, this guy's. Oh. And so, if they weren't so well fed, would they get aggressive about food with each other?
Yes. Say if these were wild alligators, they would be much more food aggressive than they are right now.
Yeah, because right now they barely care. They're just like, ugh.
They're not used to working for food.
Can I feed that little one on the rock, or should I not encourage it?
Yeah, we're not gonna try to encourage this behavior. In fact, we gotta
That's
get a
naughty.
little fence going here at some point.
Would they grab a bird?
Maybe one vulture a year gets grabbed by these gators. Vultures are pretty smart. They're also protected on a federal level, and I think they're aware of it. They're not afraid of people either.
Do you guys want some more chicken? There's heaps in here. Okay, I'll just chuck it all in. All right, guys, chicken shower. Whereabouts in Australia did you guys say you're from?
Grafton.
Oh,
New South Wales.
yeah, nice. Yeah.
Houston.
Okay, so I just came around the side. What
Eventually,
you can hear
yes.
at the moment is these
He's
guys
got a little
bellowing.
groan
So
to do,
all the
though.
males that have their tail up in the air like that, they're making vibrations in the water. You can actually see one just over there is about to drop and do
There
one.
we go. So everyone's kind of establishing their own hierarchy right now. But this is really cool because you'll normally only get to see this during the breeding season.
The biggest gator you ever held?
Definitely, yes. I hadn't held any gators until today, so I don't know how far we're going to keep going. Every time you're like, here's a bigger one, a bigger one. Is this the biggest one that we're going to hold?
Yeah, because when they start getting bigger than this, they start holding us.
Yeah, it's too much. And so I'm trying not to squeeze him.
Each one of those bumps is an individual piece of bone plate covered with a thin layer of skin. We call these scutes. They're also known as osteoderm if you want to sound really fancy to your friends. Any alligator of equal size bites him in the back, not going to affect him really. But it's also used as a solar panel. If you notice when alligators are in the water, their head will be out and their back will be out as well. And that bone heats up and there's actual little like holes on the surface of this bone and blood pools up in there. So when the bone heats up, it heats up some blood and circulates that warm blood through his body, even when he's in cold water. And the last place you got to touch is right under here, because that's going to be the softest part of the alligator.
Aww. That's like my bearded dragon that I
Right.
had. It was so soft, like under there.
And it's very loose and elastic skin, kind of like your elbow skin. It lets him swallow things a little bit larger than his own head. And the last but not least, My favorite part of an alligator is their eyes. Their eyes sit on top of their head, kind of exposed, right? Especially with all those teeth and the fact they might fight. They can't really afford to go blind, so they can actually disappear their eyes into their head. Gone. And when they open, they pop back up. Got one over here for you too. And that lens that you see roll forward, that's a nictitating membrane. That's what they use underwater, more as protection than for seeing. So in the water, even clear water, they see more shapes and shadows than they do anything else. If you look at the sides and front of his face, he has like little black dots, right? Or little freckles. Crocodiles have these as well. So typically that's how they're gonna sense their environment underwater. They can borderline taste through the sides of their face. So if they bump into, say, a piece of chicken, they can't see it, but if they feel it, they taste it. I mean, they hit soft tissue with this, immediately it's a reflex to bite. Now with crocodiles especially, like you notice they usually hunt near the water's edge. They'll be just beneath the surface, usually in murky water. If anything touches or disturbs the surface of the water, depending on which side of their head that's on, the first thing that's going to be affected are these little sensory receptors. And without even knowing what's going on, it's so reflexive that he's going to launch himself out of the water in that direction. And that's how they typically catch a lot of food.
Right here where I'm pointing my finger, there's a little circle. And right under there, that's going to be where the alligator's brain is located. The alligator's brain is only around the same size as my thumbnail. And with the brain that small, that does mean that the alligator is an instinctual animal. You cannot train alligators.
All right, so just been back to the office quickly, got to sit in the aircon for a little bit, and I've got my hair tied up because we're about to go on the airboats.
But that one out in front of us is not. This is your wild American gator. That is not a farm animal. Another gator on the right here, another wild alligator.
Unfortunately, now they're pretty much native here.
Thank you. What are they?
Largemouth bass.
Ah.
He's got beautiful patterns on him.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I always think that this stuff is staged when I see it in videos in Florida, but you actually literally just come across stuff.
Oh, it's really, yeah. It's Jumanji.
So they also have this area where you can feed the baby gators of all different sizes. They're growing them out because they use them here for conservation, for giving to zoos or to people who have the permits and licenses to keep them and sell them to them. They're all really well looked after, and this is a good way to get them nice and fat and eating all the time, giving people this experience as well to interact with the gators. They really sense when the food actually reaches the water. It's like those little sensors we showed you on their face before, the little black dots, that helps them to be able to know when there's something there. I'm going to show you a little bit of what Josh took me to do afterwards. All right, so it is at a place called Robert is here, and it's got really cool fruits and stuff that I'm going to show you. These are the different types of milkshakes, but I'm going to try a made milkshake at the house later on, so I thought I'd save it for then. So I got my vanilla one. Sea sponges, real sponge. Keeps the different types of honey. This one has real honeycomb, so I want to get that one to try the honeycomb. That one's what the mermaid looks like, which we're going to have later on. Have that later in a milkshake. And then it looks like this, kind of like a coconut as well. Oh, that's a jackfruit as well, which is kind of like pineapple almost, but it looks very different. I'll show you what it looks like. Everything grows and lives well in Florida. These are what the jackfruits look like. They're big and spiky. Really cool. So we are officially in the Everglades. We just crossed over into the Everglades National Park. Here is those panthers that we were talking about, the Florida panther. And then we already saw like 3 different lizards. But check out these air plants. You can see these huge ones. They're growing all up in the trees here. This is a problem in Florida, so they're invasive, these pythons. So the largest one ever found was 17 feet. This is a recreation of the python that was found. We are right here. Looks like a little safari. So that's where I flew into Miami. Then we go south, and then got Florida Bay and the Keys down there, which I wanted to visit, but it's like a couple hours south still from where we are. And it's got a bunch of the animals that you can find, like the beautiful manatees, lots of tortoises. Very, very cool. Did you see anything cool? What did you see?
How big that soft shell is.
Oh wow. Just animals everywhere. So we just went into the Everglades National Park. It's like $35, but you get entrance, I think, for it's like a week. But I'm going to show you some beautiful plants that we were just looking at. So we just had a quick little look at some of the water and the plants. The water near Miami is so beautiful down the very south of Florida. It's crystal clear. The plants are absolutely gorgeous. We just have to be careful for alligators still. Josh let me have a look around there, and then he took me to the Anhinga Trail, which is a trail named after a bird that they have that actually fishes for fish in the water. It was a really beautiful trail. You can sometimes see alligators here, but we didn't see any because it was quite overgrown when we went, but sometimes it's a little bit clearer. Really easy trail, definitely recommend it if you visit Florida. Big shout out to Josh for giving me such an awesome time in Florida and taking me so many places. We also did a video at Jacob Feathers, who has a bunch of exotic animals, and of course we've got a full tour at Summerland Fish Farms, which is an awesome fish farm right near Miami. Alright, that's it. Make sure you subscribe if you want to support the channel and see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!